Okay, this chapter and other coming 2-3 chapters will deal with this outcome of the course, which is to apply skills for collecting and analyzing traffic data. In this topic, we are going to discuss traffic data collection and reduction. Reduction means you have a set of values and you summarize them to give me the things I need. Okay, so reduction means summarizing the values, okay, not deleting the values. Okay, traffic data is collected for three things. As a traffic engineer, we need to know three things. Okay, as a traffic engineer, we need to know three things. The first thing is the current state of the system. Which highways have traffic jam? Which hours have traffic jam? Okay, what are the signal timings? Where are the signals? What are the speed limits? Okay, and so on. The current state of the system. Second thing, the current demand for the system. How many vehicles we have right now? Each segment, each highway, and so on. Okay, and the third thing is what is going to happen in future after 10, 15, 50, 30 years. What will be the traffic? Okay, what will be the state of the system? Okay, it is very important that you decide the analysis before you start collecting traffic data. Okay, we will discuss it later on. That you collect traffic data, either you have to hire some people to go in the field and collect the data for you. Okay, so and those people will take money, right? You guys will do it for free, I know.
No, I'm not stupid.
You will for the project.
Yeah. For the marks, not free.
Yes, marks are free, right? Otherwise, I should take the money, right? Marks are not free. Okay, so you will have people, it will take their effort. There will be people from your staff, so they will take time from the office and go to the field and collect traffic data. Money is involved. You have to give them some things to collect the traffic data, some equipments and so on and so forth. Okay, so there will be a lot of people and a lot of effort and money involved. Other thing is you can do it using some sensors and equipment. And again, that is also not free. And that will also take some time and effort to install them on the site. Okay, so in any case, if you missed something in your traffic data collection, you have to repeat the whole thing again. Okay, or maybe you collect something extra which you do not require. So maybe you could have done a study in a shorter time, but because of that extra thing, you put more time in the field. Okay, so you want to avoid both these things: rework because of missing item and doing extra work because of unnecessary things. Okay, you want to avoid that. Okay, so it's important that you must know what you will do with the data before you go in the field. Okay, at the start of the last chapter, we said traffic means what? Vehicles. Okay, this was the old or traditional view. That is why we discussed in the first chapter. The new view of traffic is traffic does not mean vehicles, traffic means travelers. People who are traveling. Okay, and those people could be drivers, passengers, pedestrians, and people who are on the bicycle, okay, or a moped or whatever you have. Okay, all these are travelers, right? Traffic should include all of them. Okay, and when you say vehicles, you are limiting yourself in the space as well, because vehicles are supposed to run on the roads. Okay, so you are only focusing on vehicles that are on the roads. But when you say everybody is included, then everybody is not on the roads. Some of them are walking on the side of the road. Okay, or bicycling on the side of the road. Okay, they could be going to a bus stop and they could be standing there. They could be on the pedestrian bridge. Okay, so those spaces are also now part of your data collection. Okay, so traffic data according to the new purview includes all types of users and the spaces they are using. Okay, clear? These spaces could be exclusive. For example, a pedestrian bridge is only for pedestrians. Or these spaces could be shared. Okay, I have a lane or a sidewalk which is used by pedestrians as well as bicycles. So both of them are sharing the same space, right? But they are part of the traffic system. How do we collect traffic data? We are living in the age of information technology, right? Okay. So we find a lot of things online. Okay. One of those things is traffic data. There are government departments, not ChatGPT. There are government departments which collect traffic data and upload it. Okay. This could be vehicle counts. This could be speed surveys. This could be accident locations. Okay. Traffic maps, they are available. Okay. Couple of sites are mentioned here, but you can search and you will find many countries and many states have their online database accessible with traffic data. Okay. Another thing is using the existing tracking devices we have. All of us have tracking devices, right? They put it inside us when we were born, right? Some of you should believe it, right? No? Did you get it checked or no? Maybe. Okay. Mothers have it, right?
Yeah.
Mothers have it. Okay. But we have tracking devices, right? Not inside of us, but we have tracking devices. Where is it?
Our phones.
Your phones, right? Okay. The phones have tracking devices. The vehicles which companies use, they have tracking devices. Okay. Taxi services, courier services. Any company which is giving the vehicles to their employees, okay, or they are running the business on vehicles, they have tracking devices. Okay. So these tracking devices have the data bank. Okay. They already have the data bank. Okay, and can use them. But then you need the permission for that. Okay. So in 2019, we got the data from a courier company from their trucks, from the tracking of their trucks. Okay. And we use that data to calculate travel time, speed, and so on. Okay. So existing tracking devices. Then we have some which are installed for other reasons, not tracking. Okay. Now they have already started looking for Causeway as well. You can pay online and then you directly just go. Okay. So it will sense this is the vehicle and it's paid and you go. Okay. So this sensor is what? It's sensing the vehicle tracking you, right? That this vehicle passed this location at this point. Okay. And same thing when you will come back, right? Okay. So in many countries, we only have it on the Causeway, but there are many countries, Pakistan, US, and many other countries in which they have lot of these toll plazas and toll booths. Okay, and they have this system. You can put a QR code on your vehicle. When you go through, the sensor will take the QR code reading, and the bill will come to your account. But there are many of them, right? In one trip, you may pass like 3-4 of them. So they don't want to stop you at all of them. Okay, comes to your account. Okay, but the point is, these codes and these sensors are tracking you. They know what point we have crossed. Even for the Causeway, I have 2 sensors, right? One when you enter, the other one when you leave. So they know how much is your travel time, right? When did you enter, when did you leave? So this can be used. Then we have traditional methods that you go on the field and collect it yourself. Okay. So you see some counters here. Okay. These are hand counters. Mechanical devices. Okay. You have to click on the button. This is a digital counter. Still you have to click on the screen. Okay. So in all these cases, you do the counting, and then in the end you take the number from the counting. Okay. These are some traditional methods. Then you can put equipment on the road to do the counting for you, or to do the data collection for you. Okay. Keep one thing in mind. We will use it throughout the course. Any equipment which is used for traffic data collection, they call it detector. What do they call it? Detector. Okay. So we have side fire detectors and we have point detectors. Side fire or on the side of the road. Point detectors are under the road. Okay. 2 types of them we use. Then we have video based measurements. So you take a video. From the video, then you can do the measurement manually or digitally. Manually means what? You run the video and you sit in front of the screen and you do it. Okay. Digitally means what? There are softwares for video processing. So you upload your video on the software and the software will do the processing and tell you the things you need to know. Okay. So all these methods are available for traffic data collection. Why do we need traffic data? For managing the existing system. Okay. On the basis of traffic data, you decide when to manage the highway, when to do the maintenance, when to start the new project, and so on. You need traffic data to forecast for future. If somebody asks you what will be the traffic after 10 years, yes, it will not come from heavens. I will sleep today and come back with the answer tomorrow. You will look at the past data. Okay, so every year traffic was increasing by this much, so after 10 years it will be this much. Okay, so for new trends, for future trends, to understand the driver behavior. Okay, everybody, when you are taking the trip, you have some options. This highway, that highway, this time, this time. Okay, 9 o'clock section and 3 o'clock section, right? Going to the gym or to the class.
Gym.
Right? Gym always. Okay. So, to know the choice, we need traffic data. This is driver data. This is related to drivers. Okay, how the drivers think. Okay, so we need to know their choices. Okay. Then we need, when you are doing some calculations, we need some factors for the calculations. For example, we discussed peak hour factor in the last topic. How do I know the peak hour factor? I have to collect traffic data. That peak hour factor is used in the design. Okay? But to use it, I must know the value. The value comes from traffic data. Okay? And there are other factors as well, K and D and so on and so forth. Okay? So the factors which are used in analysis and design, those factors will also come from traffic data. Then we have what they call as follow-up studies. What is a follow-up study? You made an improvement on the road and you follow up the results of that improvement. Okay? So you made an extra lane on the road. What are the results of that extra lane? Okay? To see that, we do a follow-up study. Okay? It's a very short study because you know where you made the change and why. Okay? So I made the change in signal timing. Why? Because I wanted to reduce the queue. Okay, so I know I change the timing of this side and the queue in this direction should reduce. I can quickly go and check in 5 minutes if the queue is less or not, right? Because I already know the queue before, right? It was up to 2 kilometers. Now it is only up to here. So I know I can do it quickly. Got it? Because I know what the change should be. Got it? Okay. And this is a ministry requirement in Bahrain and in most of the other countries. If you apply for a new development project, a new housing project, a new mall, they will ask you to do a traffic study. They will ask you what will be the impact of your development on traffic. Now, how do I know that? The mall is not there yet now. Okay, so I will use the old data now. That right now the traffic is this much, and when something similar happened in another area, this is what happened. So this is what I am expecting in my project as well. Okay, so this is the impact. And the last one is to know the performance of the current system. How the highways are operating now. Okay. If there is a queue, how much is the queue? If there is delay, how much is the delay? Okay. Which highways have better condition than the others, and so on. Okay. So all these things are applications of traffic data. Managing the system, knowing the future, knowing the driver behavior, knowing the factors which you need for analysis, knowing the result of any new improvement, knowing or finding out what will be the effect of any future development, and the last one is what is the current state of the facility. Okay, what is the current performance of the highways. These are the types of studies which we will briefly go through now, and some of them we will cover in detail later on. Okay, some of them. Okay, volume is vehicles per hour or day. Okay, and we saw it in the previous examples. When demand goes up, volume goes down. Yes. Okay. Volume also goes up. Obviously. More demand means more vehicles, right?
Yes.
Okay. So volume also goes up. Okay. When the volume is going up, that means the demand is also going up. So volume is a measure of demand. Okay. And we have again discussed in the last chapter about volume. You use daily volume for planning, you use hourly volume for design and operation. So this is where we need it. Speed is related to safety. Speed is related to safety. So most of the safety studies, studies which are done for road safety, they also include speed studies. Okay? How the speed is related to safety? If you are going fast, high risk, yes. Okay, high risk in terms of damage. Okay, accidents which happen at high risk have more damage, right? Oh, sorry, accidents which happen at high speed have more damage. Okay, and another thing, at high speed, you have your available reaction time. Your available reaction time is more or less. Yes. When you're going so fast, you have to react quickly. Okay, clear or not? Okay, so that's why it's related to safety. So you did a speed study, you found there's a problem. Okay, now how do you control the problem? You have to prepare, or you have to work with the speed limits. Okay, the speed limits. So if you feel the speed is too low, speed is too high, it's dangerous, you can reduce it. Or it could be the other way around as well. Sometimes you may find the speed is low. The drivers are expecting high. You can increase it as well. It has happened. It has happened. Okay? But anything should be rational. There should be a reason behind it. You cannot decide on the basis of your judgment. Okay, it should be this and this. No. You have to do a study to prove that this is what should be done. Okay? So traffic data is needed. I mentioned earlier, speed is related to time. Okay, speed is always linked with time throughout the course. Okay, why? The reason?
More speed this time.
Okay, now why travel time studies are important? If as a driver, when you select a highway, the reason of your selection is what? The whiteboard, huh? The reason of your selection is what? Travel time. Huh? You don't count traffic, you don't take speed studies, right? You know, okay, if I go from here, it will take 10 minutes. Go from here, it will take 15 minutes, and so on. So as a driver, your choice depends upon travel. Okay, so it's important for the driver. Okay, for a driver, a highway with more travel time is bad. Less travel time, good. Okay, that's why staying home is the best option, right? Zero travel time. Okay. Why it is important for us as traffic engineers? Travel time tells you the demand which you can expect on the highway. Because demand is coming from who? From the drivers, right? And drivers are deciding on the basis of time. So if I know the travel time, then I can know how many drivers I should expect on the highway. Less travel time, I should expect more drivers, right? And so on. Then we have delay studies. Okay. Now what is delay? We have discussed it yesterday. Yesterday, yes. What was delay?
Late.
Huh?
Late. Delay, late, yeah.
Late from what? How much time? Huh? You come late half an hour. Okay. Oh, only half an hour. I was not going to use that half an hour even in the exam. Just let me see. Okay, so there should be a point after which the delay will start. Right? Okay, so this is what they call as routine or usual. Anything more than routine or usual is considered delay. Okay? So maybe there is no queue, you did not stop. But you are expecting that on this highway I will go at 120 kilometers per hour. But you are only going at 80 kilometers per hour. You are not stopping, there is no queue. But your speed is less than expectation. So this is still considered as delay. Okay? And most of the cases, delay and travel time studies are combined. Because delay is part of travel time. Right? It is part of your travel time. So travel time studies and delay studies are combined or can be combined. Okay. Then we have density studies. Density is what? Vehicles per
Density.
Vehicles per what?
Per mile.
Per mile. Okay. Vehicles per mile. And we discussed earlier that we cannot measure it directly. We need some instrument. Because when you will count, the density should remain constant. It doesn't remain constant. It changes with time, right? Vehicles are moving. Okay. So we need some equations, or in the last chapter we saw the equations to calculate density. Or you can use equipment as well. One of these equipments mentioned here, this is a detector. Okay. It's a point detector because it is under the road. Okay. Under the road is called a point detector. This detector has a length. And the vehicle also has a length. Okay. So we find out these lengths. Then we have this equation to calculate density. What is the observation from the detector? It is called occupancy. That detector is measuring occupancy. Okay. It is represented with O in the equation. O means, oh my God. Huh? Occupancy. Okay. What is occupancy? Percentage of time the detector occupied, the vehicle occupied the detector. Percentage of time the vehicle occupied the detector. Okay. So the detector was in the field for 1 hour. Out of 1 hour, what percentage of time the vehicle was on the detector? Okay. Not the same vehicle. Okay. One is for 1 second, one is for 2 seconds, one is for 3 seconds. You add all of them, then calculate the percentage. That will be occupancy. And from occupancy you calculate density. Okay. Why do we calculate density? Because density is linked with comfort of the driver. It tells you the quality of flow. Okay. How good or bad the flow is. Okay. We discussed it in the last chapter. Then we do accident studies. Okay. In accident studies, we are trying to find out 3 things. Okay, so we are collecting accident data directly. It's not the speed and time and so on. Accident data. Okay, and we need to find out 3 things. How many accidents are happening? Their frequency. What locations they are happening, and what are the reasons they are happening. Number, location, reason. Okay, so there will be some locations where accidents are more than the other, right? There will be some reasons which are causing more accidents than other reasons, right? So with this data, you can decide what to do to reduce accidents. If you know the number, the location and the reason, then you can decide what to do to reduce accidents. Clear? Okay. So this is what accidents means. Then we have parking. Okay. Parking is a basic demand of any development. School, university, even a house. Even a house. They will tell you, okay, you need to have this much for parking, right? Okay, or a villa or a house, they will tell you. Okay, so because it is a demand or a necessity for people who are living there, they need parking. Okay, so they have to do parking studies. In parking studies, we are trying again to find out 3 things. 3 things. First of all, inventory. Inventory means existing parking spaces. Inventory means record of existing parking spaces. And record includes everything. Number, how many are there, where are they, maybe some are at the front side, some are at the back side. Okay. What is their orientation? Maybe they are parallel parking, perpendicular parking, inclined parking. Okay. So all these things are part of inventory. Okay. Combination of all these things is called the inventory. Got it? Okay. The next item is accumulation. How many parking spaces are filled at one time? How many parking spaces are filled at one time? Accumulation. So maybe you have 20 parking spaces, but at one time only 10 are used. So 10 is accumulation. Got it? And the last one is demand, total demand. So this is for the whole time period now, not one time. In the whole day, let's say. It could be less than one day or more than one day. But how many people are using the parking in the whole day? Okay, so maybe 10 are now, but it will remain 10 for the whole day? No, it will increase and decrease, right? So you have to count for the whole day. Okay, this is called parking demand. Now in parking, people have choices. Okay, like you have different parking areas where you are allowed to park, right? Sometimes you go to one area, sometimes you go to the other area, right? Sometimes you go to one parking lane, sometimes you go to the other parking lane. Okay, so it's related to your purpose, right? Where I am going, how long I will park, and so on. So how would I know that? How would I know the choice? Then I have to do some interview studies. Okay, so parking can also include some interview studies to know the choice of the drivers. Okay, we have a big parking plaza in Pakistan, Karachi, in the center of the city. Okay, until the time I was there, it's a multi-story parking plaza, and the area is fully congested, jam-packed. But you go to the parking plaza, it's empty. No, they don't want to park there because of the location, because of something else. So that's why interview studies are important. Because you may do something and people don't buy it. Okay, then your investment is gone. Then we have good movements and transit studies. Good movements happens on trucks. Transit happens on buses, public transport. Okay, so trucks and buses. Okay. Now what causes more congestion? Trucks and buses or cars? If they are in the same number, yes. Which one will have more effect? If they are in the same number. If buses and trucks and cars, they are in the same number. Which one will have more effect on traffic?
Buses.
Buses and trucks, right? If I have 10 buses and trucks and 10 cars, okay, 10 cars will be much faster, right? Buses, you avoid that lane which has more buses and trucks, right? So this is why we do the goods movements and transit studies. Okay, because they could become a main part of congestion or the main reason of congestion. So then we think of strategies to avoid congestion. Okay, because of these. So on some highways, on some streets, we don't allow them, or we allow them after a certain time. So all these will come when you do the studies. Then we have pedestrian studies. I told you earlier, traffic now includes pedestrians as well. Okay, so pedestrian studies could include their walking speed, the locations where they want to cross the road, okay, and their choice and so on. Okay, one thing which you will see here and other slides as well, which is the mid block. So there is an intersection and there is a mid block. Mid block means the road. Intersection, you know, right? So anything which is not the intersection, they call it the mid block. Okay, mid block means crossing the road. So pedestrian may be crossing from the road or from the intersection. Road is called the mid block. Okay. So how much time they need to cross? Why are they crossing from here? How many people are crossing in 1 hour and so on? This is all part of pedestrian studies, and we need to know because it is important for their safety. Okay. Many serious accidents, they involve pedestrians. Okay. So then we have calibration studies. Okay. So in calibration means what? We do calibration for instruments, right? What does it mean?
Same as adjusting.
Adjusting, yes. Adjusting for, you were saying something.
Like fixing.
Fixing, okay. Calibration, fixing for what? The thing is broken, I'm fixing it? Or you were saying something else?
Adjusting.
Adjusting to
be better, to enhance it.
To enhance it. To be used in some other conditions. So you may buy an instrument which was used in UK, for example. They have a different weather. Now you take the same instrument, try to use it in Bahrain where the weather is different, you may have to do some adjustment for weather. Okay, this is one way of saying it. In calibration studies, we are adjusting the equations. In the last chapter, we derived some equations, right? For demand, for density, flow, speed. We derived some equations. So deriving equations is also part of calibration. Okay, so when you derive new equations, it's called calibration. Okay, so we did this. This is from the last example, the example which we did in the last chapter. Okay. This is calibration. This is called calibration. Deriving equations from data is called calibration. Okay. Okay. Then we have observational studies. Okay, observational studies, I called them earlier as follow-up studies. Okay, so what is a follow-up study? What am I following up?
If you decide to go to a new lane and
Yes.
see the results of the lane.
Good. Following up on the changes which you have made on the road. So another name for follow-up study is observations. Okay, and I told them they are very short because you know the change and you know what you are expecting from the change. Okay, so that's why. Okay. Up till now we were discussing what studies we do. These are three methods of how we do the study. So we were discussing what. Now we will discuss how. Got it? Okay. So what is volume, speed, travel time, accident, blah. Okay. And now we have the method. How we do it. So we have three methods. Manual, automated, semi-automated. Okay. Manual means manual. You understand manual, right? And other two involve detectors. The other two methods involve detectors. Okay. Today I will just give you some points about the manual studies. Okay. Now you know human beings. Manual means a human being has to be on the street, right? To do the study. Okay. And human beings have limits, right? You have limit for your bank account, obviously. You have limit for how much time you can spend, right? Okay, how much time you can spend on Netflix and Instagram and so on, right? Or it's unlimited. Unlimited, right? Unlimited, huh? You take unlimited subscription, right? Okay, but when you are doing the graphic studies, there is a limit. Okay, there is a limit, obviously. It's boring. So there is a limit. Okay, so they have given us how long the manual studies can be. Less than 24 hours. Okay, so means 23 hours is fine. I can ask you for doing it for 23 hours. This is what it means. He's thinking. You will do it or not?
I won't do it.
Huh?
I will not do it.
No, I'm thinking.
You will not,
You will
believe me.
You will not?
We put random numbers.
Okay. So less than 24 hours, the total period for which you can do it. But for better accuracy, we divide our time into small shifts. In manual studies, we divide our observation time into small shifts. Okay? To avoid the error of fatigue and tiredness and so on. So we don't want to do it for longer time. Okay? Longer continuous time. We break it into small shifts. Okay? And we'll discuss it later on how to do it. Okay? What studies we can do manually? We can do counting, manual counting of vehicles. Easy, right? But then we should do it for a small number of locations. Because more locations mean more people. Okay? Like for your project, there are 3 or 4 people in one group which will do one location. Now you can imagine how many people I would need if I'm doing it for the whole city. Okay? So manual counting studies are done for a small number of locations. All manual studies are done for a small number of locations. You can do a speed study as well. Okay? Manually. So you can mark a distance, note down time. You can use an app to measure the speed. There are instruments available which you can hold it in your hand and measure the speed. Okay? But then why I am saying this is manual if you are using the instrument? Because you have to use the instrument. That's why it's manual. Okay? You may be noting down data on your mobile. Your mobile is an instrument, right? But still it is manual because you are the one who is doing it. Okay? So in manual studies, you may still use a detector or an instrument But if you are the one who is using it, the instrument does not work automatically, then it is still a manual study. Okay? Clear? So, the speed studies can be done. Observational studies, I already told you. Follow-up study. Okay? I wanted to increase the flow. I can just go there and see the flow is increased or not. Okay? So, this can be done manually. Intersection delay studies are done manually. We will discuss it in details later on. Okay? But just to give you an idea why we do it manually, because of the direction of the vehicles. If you are on an intersection, you know the vehicles can go in different directions, right? Okay. So our sensor may not record it accurately, but you, when you see it with your eyes, you know exactly where the vehicle is going. Okay. So this is one of the main reasons of doing intersection delay studies manually. Okay, and we will discuss the procedure later on. Clear? Okay. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.